All right, so we have just a little bit of work left to do on this silage box. There was an air leak underneath the cab that Nate just got done fixing. And we have to mount this tarp assembly. This came off of the old box. We're just trying to utilize as many parts as we can, so we're not throwing nothing away. This is cracked. We're gonna have to weld that. This is aluminum, so we're going to use the spool gun that's on this older welder. That'll weld mild steel and aluminum with the spool gun. We ended up getting our lock assembly done up on this. Now this is something that we put on. We've been doing these for a little while, and you don't necessarily need them, but it is nice to be able to lock this tailgate so that it's not banging down through the field. It's these locks right here, these little thumbs that come up, and this is a cam over design. So there's the control rod right there that goes to the actual lock assembly itself. We have a pneumatic cylinder that runs the control rod, so we'll put that in the lock position. So now it is in the locked position. There's actually a switch up in the cab. Once that goes into the locked position, it runs this control rod up over center. Now in order for the lock to unlock itself, it's pulling the opposite way, which it cannot pull that way because it's hitting this stopper. So that's what's gonna hold the tailgate shut. You could actually take that cylinder right off of that control rod, and the tailgate would stay locked with these pneumatic locks. Now we also have a set of manual locks on here. When we're hauling grain or whatever, you want to make sure you keep the tailgate so that it can't open. So we ended up putting our grease zerks in. We've got our tail hinge greased. We've got our hydraulic hoses all hooked up. And now we just need to get the tarp mounted. Christian is working on putting the elbow on the exhaust here now. And we'll get the tarp housing on. I think I need to order some parts for the arms and whatever, but we'll get the tarp housing on. We'll get as much stuff on it as we can get on there. And then we'll have to probably order some more parts. Now the beauty with these pneumatic locks is it is a system that is not tied in with the actual hydraulics of the tailgate. Some of these guys put a mechanism on there that's tied in with the hydraulic function for the tailgate. It's a lock assembly that comes up against the tailgate, and it utilizes the hydraulic function from the tailgate opening cylinders. That system is not as good as this one, because if you screw up one of these cylinders that's on the side of the box, then that's tied into your tailgate function, and you'll end up getting to the point where your tailgate's not going to work because these cylinders are goofed up. This system is separate. This pneumatic system is separate from the hydraulic function of the gate. You can turn them hydraulic cylinders off that lock them other boxes, but there's still hydraulic oil going to them. And I've seen guys run into bunk walls. They monkey this whole system up, screws up the cylinder, and then they have to make up some hoses quick to bypass that so that they can utilize using the tailgate. With this pneumatic setup, you can lock and unlock that without functioning your hydraulic circuit for the gate. So that's a little better system there. So we'll go ahead and get this housing welded up. Jared's got his Mac in here. He's got some stuff that he would like to do to that. He's not sure what yet or how involved he wants to get into it before he gets the engine ready to go back together in it. Now we've got this 8110 back in the shop. Jared's working on putting an interior kit into it. He's got most of the stuff in here. Yeah, the camera kicked off there. I hope it got a majority of that last clip. But at any rate, he's got most of the stuff in here. There is a buddy seat in the other cab. He's got to bolt that down yet. And he's got just a few pieces left to put on. Now somebody's going to ask where this kit came from. And it's just says on the box, Tractor Interior. And this company is in Orchard, no, it's in Northwood, Iowa. So you guys can look that up. Another thing that's getting done is this vac truck there. Put some new bearings in on the discharge auger. This vac truck we ended up replacing with the Dune vac truck, and we're actually going to sell this. So if anybody's interested in this vac truck, you'll have to send me an email. We ended up replacing the bearing on the back side of the auger as well. That is a complete whole assembly, and that work is done. I don't know if we can see in here or not, but there's a whole new hub, bearing, and everything installed on the back side of that auger. What else have we done? We replaced this hose as well, and we're going to go ahead and put some new shoes on the plow blades themselves. Well, we finally have this project all done. The last piece of the puzzle was this tarp assembly. Now this tarp assembly came off of the old box. Nate's just going to demonstrate the hoist going up and down, the tailgate operating, and the locks. So what are you going to start with first there, Nathan? All right, before we close out this video, are you going to have a thought of the day? Okay, you'll have time. All right, we'll get back to you on that. All right, so he's going to go ahead and start with one of the functions. We're not sure what, but we'll go ahead and just show you what everything looks like here. Now, a couple of things that we had to do to this prior to installing everything. We had to move that air tank up front. There was a box that was on the other side. It was mounted on this side. And we had to change a few things around, but that has all been done. Now we've got pneumatic locks on here for the tailgate. And yeah, everything is together. This hoist is mounted at 148 inches from tail hinge. Harsh 110, so that puts the dump angle at 55 degrees. You need about 47 to 48 degrees in order to dump silage, to have enough of an angle to have silage dump out. And go ahead and leave it right there, Nate. We'll show you what this tailgate lock assembly looks like from the back side. We have a pneumatic cylinder mounted in there. Go ahead and unlock the tailgate. That is now in the unlocked position. It is just running that control rod from one function to another. Now the jaws are open, and if he wanted to, he could open the tailgate. Go ahead and open the tailgate. And like I had talked about earlier, the beauty with this style setup that we have on here, the tailgate locks aren't plumbed into the actual hydraulic function of the gate. Go ahead and put that down. So if you have a problem with your lock assembly, it's not going to screw up the ability to be able to lift or lower the tailgate. Go ahead and power that shut. All right, now he'll just run that tailgate lock assembly into the lock position. You'll see the control rod go around. Now it is in the locked position, and that unit there rotates, and now it is cammed over. So in order for that to unlock, it would have to roll that rod around, continue it in a clockwise motion there, and being that it can't continue all the way around, it is going to put force against it, and it will not allow it to open. So with that being said, that is going to do it for this video. You'll get the box down, and we'll get this parked up, and we're going to start on our next project. So do you have your thought all figured out, Nathan?
I don't know.
It's best to think ahead of time.
Yeah, it's best
for
to
your
think
thought of the day.
if you're gonna have a thought of the day, you should think of it before someone asks.
I can't spring this on you 2 minutes before the end of the video, right? So the next video you're gonna have one. Okay. All right. Well, he's gonna get this thing parked up, and we are going to start with our next project, which is the corn head on the chopper. We're going to go ahead and put all new knives on it, and then we can get the chopper put away for the winter here, or what winter that we have left for this year. So thanks for watching, folks, and we will catch you at the next video. Well, we almost forgot to put our decals on there, so we'll get them on, and then when this truck is somewhere, everybody will know who built the box, right? So we'll just get that stuck right there. All right, now it's finished. Decals on both sides.